Sure.
Oh, no, it's there. Don't worry. It'll
Don't
pop
worry.
up.
Okay. Oh, I see.
And we are live.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Barbell Life show. I'm your host, Tony Camper, and I'm here with my co-host, Larry Carter. Say what's up, man.
Hey, everybody.
He's a little sleepy today, so he'll still be good on the ones and twos. But all right, so today our special guest is a relatively new member of the Barbell Life. He's been around for a couple months now, but you know, I noticed him in the group posting and stuff, and just huge inspiration. He is 61 years old and competing in bodybuilding and has an amazing physique, killing guys half his age. Let me introduce to you Randy Wimberley. Is that right?
That's right. You said it right.
All right. I'm pretty good with these last names. What's going on?
How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, yeah. Doing great. Thank you.
Now, where are you located at right now? What part of the country?
I'm in Mississippi, actually.
Mississippi. I've spent some time out there. Where? What city?
I'm in Grenada. You ever
How
ever
far
heard
is
of
that
Grenada?
from? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just said it was Grenada. I asked if you ever heard of Grenada.
I haven't. I've spent some time out in like a Gulfport, Biloxi area.
Well, we're just actually about an hour and a half south of Memphis, straight south of Memphis,
Oh, okay. Is that? I'm guessing that's further north.
way north.
Okay. Okay.
Northern part of the state. Yeah.
And that's where you've been from your entire life, or what?
Well, actually, I lived a good chunk of my life. I was born in Joliet, Illinois, and spent a good deal of my life up there. Long story short, parents divorced when I was real little, and my mother moved us back here. This was her home. And I went to school here. Every summer I'd go up there and stay with my dad in Illinois. And after high school, I went up there and stayed for, I don't know, probably about 15 years, and then worked my way back here. And met this gorgeous girl that wouldn't let me leave, and been here ever since. So
She got her claws in you, huh?
well, yeah, but I let her pretty easy. I was pretty easy game. She's a
You put up a
lot
fight.
better looking. She's a lot better looking than me.
Well, yeah, because I got family out there in Mississippi, and you can kind of tell you got a little accent, but it's not as thick as down south. So I can see, I can definitely tell you're from Mississippi. All right, so let me start off by asking you kind of the main question we ask people from the group is, how did you end up in the group, the Barbell Life?
The group itself, I'm not really sure. I think somebody else shared a post on your site, and I saw it, and I don't know, I just kind of strolled through it one day, and I guess I must have sent a thing, to be accepted into it. I think that's how it started. But anyway, I liked the site a lot. I saw a lot of the posts and the people that were on it, and it seemed like a really good group of folks. Everybody's cheering each other on. I like that kind of stuff. Positive influences goes a long ways in this business. You know that.
We try, man. But when you came in the group, it definitely, caught a lot of attention really quick. Like I said, man, you're a huge inspiration. It's just most guys your age are, they're not doing so well. They're on a bunch of medications, and they're hunched over, walking with a cane, and whatever else. Not saying you're that old, but you know what I'm saying. There's not a lot of guys your age on stage, competing with a great physique and competing against guys half their age. So you definitely stood out. Now, how did you get into, lifting weights and all that? When did it all start?
Okay, well, the original time, way back about 89 90, and I'm really dating myself now, I got into water skiing a lot, barefooting especially, and
we actually have a picture of that.
right, and in so doing, I also wanted to build up my upper strength, so I went into the local gym and got to talking, and the next thing I know, I'd signed up, and you know how that kind of stuff is. You get to working out, you get to knowing everybody in the gym, and of course, I was in my 30s at the time, and you know, a lot of the other guys were too, and we just hit it off, and I got to where I was spending more time in the gym than I was water skiing, and one thing led to another, and got pretty serious into it. A lot of my buddies got to competing, and at the time I never competed, although I would go to the competitions with the other guys. I just never committed myself to that. I guess
Now
probably
you're talking
more,
about bodybuilding.
yes, back then, you know, there was nothing like what they've got now. It was pretty much all bodybuilding, men and women, and it was all about getting big, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't know a lot. We didn't have a lot of the information we got now. And anyway, I got into that and did that for several years, and it was not long after that I moved back here to my hometown. I call it my hometown, Grenada, and met this gorgeous girl. And anyway, we got married, and I got a little complacent. I worked out for a few more years, but I just got complacent and got busy and kind of let myself go. And about 5 years ago, I went to the doctor because I knew I had some problems because I could, you know, I was overweight. I knew that. And I could feel my left arm was going numb every time I would sit down, you know, I would feel the numbness. So I knew something was up. And I went for a physical. And about 2 days later, the doctor called me, and he wouldn't tell me what was up. He just wanted me to come in. He said, I want you to come in and talk to me. And I knew something was up. You know, you think the worst. And I did, and got in there, and he started showing me these numbers, which didn't mean a lot to me at the time. But anyway, my cholesterol levels were way over 400, mid 400s, which is through the roof. And that was why I was having all the problems. It just so happened I had read an article about the statin drugs, which he wanted to put me on, and to help my cholesterol, and I refused. I just said I'm not going to do it because I've heard so much bad stuff about it. I said, you know, I've read about working out and getting fit and eating right again. I said, let me try that for a while. And you know, he was kind of reluctant, but he didn't have much choice because I'm pretty hard-headed. But anyway, I started working out again, joined the gym. Like I said, it was about 5 years ago.
Now, when you started working out again, were you using a lot of the information that you had back in the day when you first worked out, like a lot of the knowledge you knew from before?
Absolutely. I hit it with from a little different angle, though, is because I was trying to lose weight. You know, way back then, it was all about gaining weight. You know what I mean? And so this time, I was trying to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going at it from a little different angle, and I got to reading about it, you know, what I needed to do. And one thing led to another, and some friends of mine were running at the time too. You know, they were kind of getting into this running thing that's gotten so big. And they got me into that, and I started doing 5Ks and then 10Ks, and the next thing I know, I was doing half marathons, and still working out, though. Working out probably at least 5 days a week, taking the weekends off, and doing that running, and which I really like the running a lot, but my workouts kind of progressed, and I started noticing my body changing a lot. And one thing.
So this was a combination of lifting weights and running, marathons and all that?
Yeah, that's right. I was doing both. I never did a full marathon. I've never done that. I think I told you when we were talking before that I always tell them that the thing I like about running is the before the run and the after run, because it's usually a party. And I like the party part. It's that in between running part that gets, you know, kind of gets tiring sometimes. It's fun, but
they actually have these marathons. They're not I forget what they're called, but like at the end of them, they all have beer, and you just sit there and get drunk.
Well, I've been to some that they hand out beer. Actually, I've been to a lot of them.
Yeah, crazy.
I'm not a beer drinker, but if I were, I'd probably be in there with them. But yeah, it's
I
funny. They'll give out donuts and pizza and all the stuff that's bad for you after a run.
It's like Planet Fitness. After your workout, they're like, "Here, have some pizza," or like you said, some donuts or something. But
Here's have a cigarette. They don't ever say that, do they?
I've seen that. I've seen guys in the gym killing it, and then I'm leaving, and they're out front smoking cigarettes. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But
I've seen it too. That's why I said that.
It blows my mind. Blows my mind
so much. I'm like, I shake my head. I'm like, whatever.
I see it too.
That's the dude that kills the PT test, and then after he kills it and almost kills himself, he goes and has to smoke.
He goes and smokes. I've seen that too. I work out. I love to go work out on like Friday nights, Saturday nights, because the gym's usually dead. But sometimes you'll see those guys who they'll go into the gym, try to get a quick workout in before they go out partying. And I used to do that too when I first started working out. I'd go a Friday night, get a lift in, and then hurry up, go shower, put some clothes on, and go out to the club. And it's like, now looking back on that, I'm like, man, that was so counterproductive. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of feeding my body protein and, stuff like that and getting a good night's rest, I'm guzzling drinks and staying up all night like crazy.
Sure. Hey, we were all kids one time, weren't we?
Yeah, back in the day. All right, so you got into let me rewind real quick. You were talking about your skiing. You were barefoot water skiing.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about that, because that's not a very common thing, or at least, I don't know much about it.
Well, it kind of got real popular back when I was doing it, back in the late 80s to early 90s. It got real popular, and we were going to meets all over the country, actually, skiing with top level people, and having a lot of fun. It was a ball. It, like every other fitness group, everybody's just good folks, and it gets to be a family after a while. But yeah, it's kind of faded. Some of the top level people back in the 90s now, they have gone on to other things because there's just not a big group doing it anymore. There's still a few hanger-oners, but I think probably what killed barefoot more than anything was the wakeboard, because the wakeboard was just coming out, say, I don't know, about 94, 95, when we first saw it, the wakeboards coming on, and then the competition started going over towards that more. And just to be honest with you,
easier.
Beg pardon?
I'm guessing that's a little easier with the wakeboard.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Barefooting it's brutal, man, because you're going, way fast. You got to go. The surface of your foot's not near as big as that wakeboard, so you're going way fast. So when you take a spill at 38 miles an hour, I don't want to call these young guys wusses, but they are.
They took the easy route, right?
We were a lot tougher than they are. We were probably a lot crazier. But anyway, fun.
Back when you were doing the skiing, were you also in the gym?
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. That's what got me started in the gym, trying to get my upper body, because barefooting is pretty much all upper body strength, and so that's what I was trying to get my upper body built up, because I never was a real big guy. I'm 5'4" now, believe it or not, and back then I was only 5'6". I've actually dropped a couple inches, but I've always been a little guy too, and so I was trying to get my upper body strength built up, and that's what got me started. And one thing led to another, and found out I like the bodybuilding too.
I feel your pain, man. I'm 5'8", so I'm considered short as well. So what do they call it?
You're a big old guy.
He says
vertically challenged.
Look at this. There's nothing little about those pecs.
Thank you.
Larry, you got the picture of the water skiing?
You know what? Let me grab that one. That one's in a different one. Hold on.
It's on the event. It's on the event, the Facebook event. Yeah, that looks pretty cool though, man. Like I can see how you would need the upper body strength though. You know, you're holding on to the I don't know what you call it,
the ski rope.
Yeah.
The hand.
Trying to stay balanced, so you probably have you need a lot of core strength and things like that.
Well, there are, you have to do competition. There's a lot of tricks involved, and they all entail like dropping down onto your back, and you're going, like I say, you're going almost 40 miles an hour. Some of them go 40 miles an hour, but dropping down on your back, say, and then spinning around, coming up back like on one foot or whatever. But all that stuff is done with your upper body strength. Holding on to the rope and then whatever, turning around backwards. Whatever you're going to do, it's all upper body strength. The only thing in your legs that are really getting a workout is your quads, because they're your shock absorber per se. But
so did you feel like that? Did you feel like that helped you like build your body back then, as far as putting on size?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this too about that. Because I was saying that back then it was all about gaining size, and so now it's all about clean eating and eating the right foods. Back then we would eat ice cream and eggnog, boiled custard, anything that we could find that had the most calories and the most fat and the most carbs. That's what we wanted to eat. We were trying to pack on size. Of course, we were kids and didn't know any better too. But
yeah, I think a lot of that is still. I mean, there's a lot more knowledge and a lot more access to the information than there was back then. But a lot of guys who just start out, they don't look into these things. They just think, oh, I got to eat a ton of protein and I got to eat a bunch of calories. Lift for 5 hours and yada yada yada. Okay, here we go. Here's the picture we were talking about.
Yeah.
Now you're the one on the left, right?
Yeah, the one in the red and white suit. Yeah, that was in Winter Haven, Florida, back about 1990 or 91. And that guy right there is still doing it today. He's still competing. You can look him up, Lane Bowers. He's got a couple pages on Facebook. Heck of a good guy. Matter of fact, he's very, very Christian oriented. He's got a page that is pretty much, that's what he's all about on that page. But he's always showing his ski and stuff too. And he was just unbelievable. Matter of fact, he was the first one that ever gave me the nickname Randy Man, which stuck with me and followed me back to living in Memphis, and followed me back to Memphis, and it got to where everybody around Memphis thought my name was Randy Man. They thought my last name was Man because he gave me that nickname.
Now you said that dude was like a champion skier or something, world champion or something like that.
He is and still is. At the time, he was skiing with a guy he was skiing at school and teaching for the guy named Ron Scarpa. And Ron Scarpa, if you look him up, at one time, I know he was at least 8 times world champion barefoot water skier. Ron Scarpa did commercials, and if I don't know how old you are, if you remember some of these things, some not TV shows, movies where they were doing ski tricks and stuff like that. He would be the guy that did it. He did all kind of stuff. Ron Scarpa was phenomenal. He has since quit and gone into other endeavors. He doesn't teach, or I'm sure he still skis some, but he doesn't teach anymore, doesn't have the school. But that's who Lane started out working for. Lane was just a kid. Lane is originally from Downers Grove, Illinois, which I know well too. And that's where his family still lives as far as I know. But heck of a good guy. But, yeah, that's who that is in that picture there.
Gee, you got to be strong to be able to do something like that. That's
I'm gonna say that's Ron Scarpa, and I can't see the name, but I can't see the picture that well, but that looks like Ron.
Yeah, that's it. That says Ron Scarpa.
That's him.
That's your buddy, huh?
Well, I skied with him quite a bit too, and I went to. That's where I met the other guy there. Lane was at Ron's school.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
Ron,
Go
like I
ahead.
say, not teaching anymore. Yeah, heck, he was a heck of a good guy too. Ron was a nice guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I grew up watching a lot of '80s movies with my dad, and we'd see a lot of the, lot of that, barefoot ski.
and there was a movie with John Candy. What's the guy? Ghostbusters. Not yeah,
Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd. Okay,
Yeah.
the movie where he's Dan Aykroyd's got this jet-looking boat, and John Candy's standing on the dock trying to show this little kid how to ski. Well, the kid's got the skis on, and John Candy has nothing on. He's just got a hold of the rope. Well, Aykroyd thinks that he's signaling him to take off, so he takes off and jerks John Candy out into the water with nothing on,
Yeah.
and he's rolling on his back and all over. That was Ron that did all that stuff for that.
Oh, okay. Wow. He was like a stunt guy, huh?
That's right. He
That's
was
pretty
the
cool.
good guy. Yeah.
All right.
But
So,
they were a lot better than me. I'm not putting myself in their level at all. Not even.
well, how
close.
many years did you do it for?
Oh, probably about maybe 3 years, and
Okay.
yeah,
That's
not a real long time. It was a lot of fun, but
So when you kind of fell off the first time, you said you put on some weight, which is understandable. You got married, and I'm sure your wife was probably cooking up all kinds of goodies. I don't want to put the blame on her, but now before you got back into working out, how much weight did you put on?
probably about another 40 pounds. I was probably 40 pounds heavier than I am right now, actually.
Oh wow, okay.
When I was bodybuilding years ago, the most I ever got up to was a little over 190. And like I said, I'm only 5'6", but that was, it was upper body. But when I got in such bad, terrible shape, it was not the upper body. It was just all over. I was just overweight. And it was probably close to that at that time by the time I went to the doctor. So I've dropped that much. I'm right now, I just did a competition, last weekend, and I was down to 153, I think, by the time competition started. So, I usually come down about 8 pounds before competition from what I generally carry.
Now, as far as when you lifted back then compared to lifting now, what kind of differences can you see in your body as far as, you were 30 years younger back then compared to now? It looks like, based off of the pictures you showed us from back in the day to now, you actually have a much better physique. You're more lean, you're more ripped. You seem like you have more muscle mass. Like, what's the difference between those two time periods?
Well, back then, I was a lot smoother looking. I was bigger than I am now, but I was a lot smoother looking too. I owe it to it is because a lot is, like I said, it's what I eat now. I've really dove into this, reading about what I eat and the supplements and, all that kind of stuff, the cutting part of this thing. My wife will tell you, when I get into something, I go berserk. I lose my mind. She'll tell you. She's over there talking right now. Obsessive compulsive is what she's right.
That's a good thing to have in this lifestyle.
Well, it helps, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I've studied this stuff, and now I'm a lot more lean. I try to keep the lean all year round, not, to the point where I could get up on stage at any point, but close enough that it doesn't take me that long to get there. It just seems like it's easier now to get lean. Back then, I remember we used to sit around in the gym and everybody would talk about, what do these guys do that have abs? We couldn't even fathom having abs, back then. And we didn't know. We just didn't have a clue. course, we didn't realize everything we were eating was just making it worse. We didn't.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's come a long way since back then. You know, with the internet has just done wonders for bodybuilding and, you know, the fitness industry in general. Larry, can you pull up the picture of him back in the day and then pull up one now? I want the viewers to be able to see the difference in his body. Like it's a noticeable difference. But yeah, I know what you mean about back in the day. Like for this picture right here, I mean, you look like a pretty solid guy. You know, you had muscle and all that. But compared to now, it's honestly a much better physique. And I know you said, you know, eating better and something right and things like that.
It's like you got grown man muscle.
Just beg your pardon, I couldn't get that.
I said it's like you got grown man muscle.
Oh yeah.
Grown man muscle.
Your mic sounds pretty jacked up, Larry. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a lot better, man. It's impressive. It's something that I'm like, man, I want to be on the beach, you know, looking like that when I'm your age.
I want you to be. I want to be 80, Tony, and the two of us be out there looking like that. Okay.
Definitely.
I'm all right. I'm all right with that. Now, as far as your training goes, I know you said your diet has changed, you know, and that's helped you stay more lean and more healthy internally as well. What about your training, you know, routine? As far are you doing anything different than you did back then?
Well, I do.
What are you doing?
I'm doing, you know, I do cardio now. Back then we were scared to death of cardio. And I do cardio, especially when I'm trying to lean out and get ready for a competition. I'm going to do cardio every day. And
what kind of stuff are you doing for cardio?
Running, pretty much.
Okay.
But let me tell you how I do my workouts now. Because when I started back this time and got serious and started wanting to compete, I kind of got this mindset from reading some things to make my workout a cardio workout. So what I do is I superset everything, and I've been doing this now for a couple of years. And you know, I'm going to put at least two things together that target the same muscle group. Say like chest, I'll put two chest workouts together, and I'm going to go through, you know, from one to the next and this back and forth without stopping if I can. And
so that way, I get what you're saying. Like I do the same thing sometimes. It's like you don't get a break. There's barely any rest period, so you're just going right to it, and that's getting your heart rate up, and you're constantly moving, and yeah. There's a funny saying that goes in this community. It goes, you know, the way I do cardio is I lift the weights faster. Yeah. And it's a joke, but at the same time, it's realistic. And that's what I do. Like I don't really do a lot of running. I got a bad knee, but like plus I can't. I hate running. It's just I've never enjoyed it. So that's my way around it. You know, I like you said, I do a lot of supersets. I try to minimize my rest periods in between sets, things like that. So,
well, it sounds like you're right on. Everything I've read is that it says just what you just said, to keep your heart rate up, you know, try to keep your heart rate up to a certain peak point, like you're doing cardio, but while you're doing lifting, you know, weightlifting.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then when I'm getting ready for competition, what I'll do is I'll drop the actual weight way down. But when I do, let's say the cable pulls to your chest, I might sit down and do 50 of them without stopping, but I've got the weight way down. But when I get to 50, I'm totally burned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that, not superset with something else. I'm going to do it by itself, but then I'm going to go back to something else and then something else. And in a few minutes, I'm going to come back to that same, you know, once I've let that particular spot rest for a little bit and hit a couple other things. Then I'm gonna come back and hit that thing another 50. And I may do that cycle 4 times in the gym, hitting all those body parts. And I may hit every body part I can hit that day. Getting ready for a contest, like the couple weeks before the contest. I may hit everything upper body. Now, I kind of neglect legs when I'm going to do a competition because what I do, legs don't really matter, and that's great for me because I hate doing legs anyway. So, like most.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of legs. I hit them, but it's something about the leg muscles. It taxes you, it kills you. But I get what you're saying. You're doing lighter weights, but you're just doing a shit ton of reps.
That's right.
Exhausting your muscles, which is really good, especially during prep time. Now, as far as when you back in the day when you were lifting, I'm guessing besides adding the cardio now, was your approach the same, or what's
Absolutely
changed?
not. No, back then, what we did was we tried to see how much we could lift, and we're all injured today because of that. Everybody my age has injuries. We've all got rotator cuffs that have been blown out a long time ago. Most of us have had back surgeries, because we squatted. One day, all our buddies got around the squat rack to see how much we could squat, which was the stupidest thing in the world. And we all blew our backs out. It's completely different now than what we did back then as far as that. Of course, I could lift a whole lot more weight back then than I can now. But, it's a lot different. I can do my workout now by myself. Back then, you had to have a partner, because you had to spot each other because we were lifting so much weight.
So much weight. Hearing you talk about this, I just pictured the movie Pumping Iron. I'm sure you know that movie with Arnold.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
You want me to start quoting some of the dirty words from it? I can quote it to you.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna. I don't know who's what. My grandkids might be on here. Let me just say, I did love all the stuff when Arnold was picking on Lou. I love that stuff.
Oh yeah, he was messing with him bad. And then there was the other guy who he stole the guy's shirt or water bottle. I can't remember what it was. He stole the dude's thing. He was messing with him. Redhead dude. But
but I can't remember what.
Back then it wasn't as popular as it is now. I mean, I know in the 80s is when it first kind of blew up, and everyone wanted to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, and everyone wanted to, get huge, and you had Muscle Beach and all that stuff. But I think it's more of a worldwide thing, and it's more of a, it's a lot more common for people to lift weights. And I know back in the day, it wasn't. You had just, you had your small group of guys who got, worked out or whatever. So I'm sure the gyms weren't packed like they are nowadays. You see a difference?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And let me tell you, the other thing was there weren't a lot of girls, ladies, women, females, whatever. There weren't that many that came in the gym back then. And the ones that did stayed in the room. They always kept all the cardio stuff in one room. And then the men, they put them way in the back there, so nobody had to look at us, We ran people off.
So you guys didn't have all the motivation we have nowadays. Because back in the day, I think a lot of women had this misconception that, lifting weights is going to make you, big, She-Hulk looking kind of thing. But it's definitely a lot more women in the gym now. A lot more women lifting weights. It's more acceptable, which is a good thing, And that's a great way for women to get in shape. Lifting weights.
I can't complain about it at all.
My wife gives me crap all the time, Tony and Larry, because she says I'm always trying to find female gym partners, but they look better. I can't help it. And
well,
but there's ladies now.
A wise man once told me, if you want to get into running and you want some motivation for your run, go run with a pretty female and have her run ahead of you a little bit.
That's right.
Yep.
That's the cardinal rule: the women to run long distance.
All right. So
Yeah.
Hey Larry, your mic is.
Let me
still
tell you this
jacked
too,
up.
because you made me.
Go
You
ahead.
still there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Randy.
Okay. Yeah, you're both breaking up. I don't know if it's me or you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Randy? Can you hear me? Can you?
Got you now, I think, don't I?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let me tell you this now, because you made me think about something when we said that about there were no girls in the working out bodybuilding. I lucked out. The first gym I walked into, there was a guy there that was managing that gym named Lance Moore. You need to look his wife up. His wife at the time, she started about the same time I did. And now I'm going to try to think of her name. Good gracious. Because she's, oh Lord. I can't think of it now. I drew a blank. But anyway, and I'll think of it in a minute. Oh, Wanda. That's her first name. Look her up. Wanda Moore. She became a world-class bodybuilder, female bodybuilder. And she was from the Memphis area. They since moved, and they've been up north somewhere. But anyway, when I walked in the gym, he's the first one that ever signed me up to a gym. This guy he became a heck of a trainer. And it was just by luck, sheer luck, that I met him. But he taught me a lot at first. But anyway, yeah, you made me think about that. Wanda got huge. And
like big, like size-wise?
Yeah, that's her. She's phenomenal, man. And she still looks good too.
Back in the day when you were training, did you ever come across like steroids and things like that?
Oh yeah, that stuff was everywhere back then, And what's crazy is, nobody knew anything about them, but they were trying them, just to see what the hell they would do. And back then too, and I read a lot of stuff now that they're not bad for you and this and that as much as we thought they were back then. But even if they're not as bad for you as they said they weren't, as they said they were back then, I think the problem wasn't that they were inherently that bad for you, but the fact was that if you were supposed to take, say, 4 cc's, the guys were taking 8 cc's, and instead of taking them twice a week or doing a cycle for a couple of weeks, they would double it up. They were just pushing the limits to see what this stuff would do because no one knew.
Yeah, the information was the thing, and from what I've read and stuff, it's like a lot of these guys, either they were getting it on the black market. Well, it's all black market, but they were getting it from shady people, so it wasn't good quality, or like you said, they weren't taking it right clinically. If like you said, if they said 4 cc's, they're like, well, if it's 4, I'll take 8. And I'll get bigger, faster, and quicker, and things like that. Yeah, and
that's what everybody was doing. Everybody was doing it back then.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a lot of people, have lost their health because of that, because they were doing way too much. My opinion.
Perfect example would be
the
WWF. The guys in the WWF, like the 80s and stuff. Those guys, half of them are dead, and they died
overboard big time.
Yeah, they died in their 40s and 50s, and all of them were from heart problems.
You think about this too. And Arnold finally admitted that he did them way back then, and we knew he did anyway. He didn't have to admit it. But anyway, what do you think Arnold would look like compared to? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. What was the question?
Yeah, we losing each other back and forth. No, my question was, talking about steroids, Arnold finally admitted that, of course, we all knew he was doing them anyway, but he finally admitted that he had done them, he was doing them way back then, but my question was, what do you think Arnold would look like compared to the guys that are bodybuilding today, the top level guys? You think he'd even be able to compete?
This is my opinion on that. Like he had a lot of genetic gifts. You know, his height was one of them. And when you put on that kind of muscle on his frame, it just looks aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
It's a good look. It's so I think compared to guys now, he could still hang, but I know the way they train now and the way they judge now, he would have stepped his game up to be able to compete with those guys. So he had to put on more muscle on his legs, things like that. But I mean, he's the benchmark of bodybuilding. I mean, you look at him and it's the perfect physique.
Yeah.
It's not like the guys
I know.
now.
We all wanted to look like him.
Yeah. I mean, guys now are just like, just pure muscle everywhere. And it's, to me, I don't like it. It's just too much. But back then it was more, it just looked aesthetic, more, like they said, classic. It had that classic bodybuilding look. But speaking of competing, how many shows have you done? Was this one that you recently did? Was that your first show, or have you done some before?
No, I started last year. I did a couple. What did I do? 3? No, it was this.
2 last year.
Okay, I did 2 last year. That's what I was trying to remember if I did how many I did last year. I did 2 last year, and I've done 2 this year.
Okay, so 4 total.
Yeah,
now,
I haven't done a whole lot.
What made you decide? Hey, I'm gonna go hit the stage.
Probably because I'm an idiot, maybe an old idiot.
It don't sound like it.
I don't know. I get these ideas in my mind, and I have to have goals always. I always have to have a goal to go for. And, oh, I think my wife just called me an idiot. Anyway, yeah, I had to set a goal. I set a goal, and I wanted to do one. There's actually a couple young people in our gym that have done some of these things around here, and got me to thinking. And I set my goals on one last May, or not this past May.
Uh-oh. He froze up. Hopefully we didn't lose him.
I guess it was the state show I did next, which was in Jackson, Mississippi, which was our state capital. The big show, anyway, I did. And I like it. The only thing I don't like is the diet part. You know, you always hear that. The diet sucks, but I like the show part.
Did you hire a coach or anything like that?
I actually went through a couple people. There's and the guy since got out of it. Just last year, I hired this Rob Stamey is the guy's name, and he and his wife were big trainers down there. Had a whole big following, and they just this year got out of it. But I hired him to start with, and then I started using a young man that won the state's level of what I compete in, which is men's physique. He won the overall last year. He's I guess he's probably 27 now, because I think he was 26 when he won it last year. Young guy, but phenomenal physique. Of course, he's very gifted. And I got him to show me some stuff too, and also show me some posing, which in physique, you know, posing is very, very important. And well, it isn't all of it, but he showed me his routine and stuff, and we practiced it several times over and over and over. And
how did you like that aspect?
How do I like the posing?
Yeah.
I like the fact that there's only 3 poses in physique. I like that and all that other. I'd like to learn some of the bodybuilding poses. I never learned them, but I would like to. I'd like to learn that kind of stuff. But
have you considered competing in the bodybuilding category?
You broke up right at the end. Do I consider what?
Have you considered competing in the bodybuilding category? Uh-oh.
Try again.
Difficulties. What my question was, have you considered competing in the bodybuilding category?
Oh, in the bodybuilding? Yeah, I have thought about it. You know, they got the new thing now that's the classic physique.
Yeah.
That's more of a bodybuilder's body. What they're trying to do, I'm sure, is get all the bodybuilders out of physique, because physique's not supposed to be for bodybuilders. They're trying to get them out of there and give them something else, because they're not really big enough to compete in the bodybuilding, but it gives them something to do. And I'd like to do that, because they've only got actually 4 positions that they have, 4 poses that they have to do, and I think a 5th of whatever they want to do. But it's not so bad either. And I wouldn't mind doing that. As far as the actual bodybuilding, I've been asked by actually my trainer last year. He kind of thought I ought to do it, but I don't think my wheels are that big. I don't know if I want to carry that kind of weight and work my legs that hard at this age. I just don't know if I want to.
Yeah,
you know, physique is not that muscular. It's just an overall aesthetic, nice look. You know, I want to say Frank Zane, but I wish I could look like Frank Zane. Hell yeah.
Don't we all? Frank Zane was definitely he's one of those classic physiques that
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, he has a great body. Yeah. Now, Larry, can you pull up the stage shot where he's on stage with the other guy? Now you just had a competition. What was it, last week? Randy, can you hear me? No, we're having issues. This internet.
Some issues with the iPad, and
yeah, I think it might be his internet. Now he's frozen.
he should be back in just a moment. It's probably just lagging to catch up.
Anyway, yeah, if you can pull that picture up. In this picture, you can see Randy on stage next to a guy.
This is it live.
Okay.
And it's him talking. You can hear what he's saying.
You know what? My wife's got it.
Picture up. In this picture, you can see Randy on stage next to a guy.
Okay.
This is it live.
Okay.
And it's him talking. You can hear what he's saying.
It sounds like you may have the YouTube going at the same time.
Yeah, my wife's got it on hers, and it's.
Yeah, you got to turn that off.
Yeah, cut this off because it's interfering here. Okay.
It happens, man. We always have some kind of technical issue. So yeah, Larry's gonna pull up a picture from your recent show. Was this you just recently did this, right?
Last Saturday.
Wow. Okay.
Last Saturday.
So you're still pretty lean, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I've been eating pretty good ever since
make it up for lost meals, right?
Yeah, I haven't been eating junk, but I've been eating a lot better.
Yeah.
My calorie count's way.
Well, I wanna talk about this shot real quick. Basically, it's a shot of you on stage, and you're standing next to a guy that he's probably half your age, and it just goes to show like how impressive what you're doing really is. Here we go. Because this guy, you have a better physique than this guy half your age, and it's just mind blowing. Now, did you talk to this guy? Do you know how old he was?
Okay, I got you now.
Okay.
How old the other guy is?
You didn't hear what I said. Okay, so what? Looking at this picture right here, this guy's probably half your age, and you look better than he does, and that's damn impressive.
No, I'm sorry if it's my connection. I apologize. I don't know why this thing's freezing up so bad. But no, that was actually last year. That was my first show last year.
Oh, okay. And you beat this guy, yeah?
I did.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he was a lot younger than me, because everybody is.
And that's the impressive thing. That's what I was getting at. Like, guys half your age, probably less than that.
Oh, yeah, way more. A lot of
and you smoked him. I mean, that says a lot.
Well, I don't know about smoking them, but yeah, I'm
you look 10 times better than that guy did. You were a lot leaner.
I beat him.
Your symmetry was better. Like, yeah, you smoked him. So how did you do in this most recent contest?
What about it?
How did you do in the most recent contest?
Oh, how did I do?
Yeah.
I of course, all they had for the older guys was a 35 and older over, and I won that. And then the open, which is, you know, they narrow you down by heights, and then you have kind of a playoff at the end, all the guys that win each of those. Well, I won mine there, but you don't actually win anything till you get to the finals. And I felt good because they kept moving me around. If, you know, anytime in bodybuilding, if you're out on the outside of a line of guys and they call you and ask you to move to the center, that means that they're comparing you against somebody else. And they did that with me a couple of times in the finals against these younger guys. And you know, I knew that I was in the running, but of course these guys are in their 20s, you know. So anyway, another guy won it, and I don't know where I finished in that as far as the judges, what they thought, you know, is their numbers and stuff, because they only have one spot in that. But in my height category, I think that was what I won third in. No.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, your height was first.
Oh, my height, that was first. I'm sorry. But I can't
probably
remember.
won third in the overall. Did you get a trophy for the
Yeah, I
overall?
would have the one first. You're going out there on that. I'm just not thinking right.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
me against the kids is what it is.
it's damn impressive, man. I mean, for you to be able to get on there and compete with guys.
It's freezing up.
Yeah, this internet
I think
thing's
it's me, honey.
killing us.
Is it him?
Yeah.
My internet's good. Larry should be good. I think it's probably just your connection. Yeah, I think
we've had issues with the iPads keeping connection when streaming.
Well,
we seem to have some trouble at points streaming.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Is it me or is it you that's freezing up? Because if it's me, I apologize.
It's fine. I think it might be on your end. The iPads have had some issue. Not to say anything bad against Apple. I don't want to get hating though.
Get sued.
Well, we've got several here to choose from. I wonder if it'd be any better if I swapped, because my wife's been watching it on the YouTube channel.
It's all right. We're gonna.
Oh no,
Way, Randy.
all right.
Before we do that, though, I just want to say, you know, it's really an honor to sit down and talk with you. You know, seeing what you're doing, not just at your age, but in general, and how you were able to, you know, say no to, you know, pharmaceuticals and just put your health in your own hands, and, you know, do it the natural, healthy way, which I wish everyone would do. You know, it's just very impressive. And to be able to go out there and compete with, you know, guys half your age, even some younger than that, is just, it's amazing. So, you know, big respect for what you do, what you've done. And, you know, I'm just curious. I look forward to seeing you do more, moving ahead, and seeing you in the group and stuff like that. But I want to leave you with this one last question.
Okay.
For all the viewers out there, you know, you're 61 years old. You've lived life. And I'm sure you have plenty left to go, especially, you know, taking care of yourself like you do. But what advice would you have for anyone out there? It could be within lifting weights, mentally, health-wise, whatever. What is one bit of advice that you could give for our viewers?
My thing is always be nice to people. Build them up. You know, anybody. Give them an attaboy. Always, when I'm backstage, I'm always positive and telling everybody how good they look. And you give that stuff, you're going to get it back. And you're never going to hear me say anything bad to anybody. You know, you just You just don't. It's so easy to be nice. Be nice to people.
And that's why he's a strong person inside and out, because strong people, uplift others. They don't just, show it outside, but they're there lifting people up and making sure, to do that thing. One smile goes a long way to make the world a better place.
Well, you two are doing it. You two got it down. Both of you guys, Larry and Tony. You two both are doing exactly that.
We're trying. You're a perfect fit for the Barbell Life, because that's our motto. I mean, in this industry, you have a lot of negativity, and you have a lot of ego, and you have a lot of intimidation, and just it's cutthroat. And not everybody. There's good people out there, but a big part of it is like that. And that's one thing Larry and I want to change about the industry. And moving forward, we always preach positivity and helping others and uplifting others and things like that. So
good show.
It's great to hear you say that, and it's great to have you as part of the community. And we look forward to seeing what you do in the future. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for inspiring me and Larry. And that's about it, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Y'all made me feel good. Y'all made me feel good. This has been quite an honor, just being on this thing. Yeah. Just y'all noticing me, that's a heck of an honor to me.
Oh, well, I mean, besides the the weightlifting and the fitness and all that, the three of us are very conscious as far as real world things go as well. So that's another thing I respect you, but that's a whole different podcast we could get into.
Yeah, we need to do that one day.
I do want to give a shout out to the admin too, because we couldn't do a lot of the stuff and making the community positive without all of our different admin. We have Carla, Adam, Nick, we have I'm forgetting everybody's name, but we have TJ, we have Bob, we have Casey, all of those guys, help, make the community positive. They're on there. Britt is on there too. Everybody, just Charles.
And the members. The members are what, they keep the motto going. They keep the attitude. So thank you, everybody. Thanks
Will,
again.
congratulations again for Will. So
all right, we're getting on a tangent. We're gonna wrap up. Thanks again, Randy.
Thank you.
You want to take it away?
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Tony. God bless y'all.
You too, brother.
Bless you too. All right, you guys, as you know, we have the supplements here. We've been telling you guys about them. Get that hype going. Come on. Plutonium's going to be our pre-workout. We have Thermite, our fat burner, and Chain Reaction. We're waiting on just a little bit more approvals. We got the finals in, so as soon as that goes, we'll be ready for the pre-sales. I know we've been saying that, but you know what? It takes the labels. So we've learned something new. Got to wait for the labels before you do the pre-sale. So as soon as we get the labels approved, we're good to go, and we can start doing that, because I know everybody's been anticipating that and waiting for it. So further ado, keep looking, and we've got a lot of surprises coming for you guys. So again, thank you, Randy, for being on the show, and
thank y'all.
It's been a blast.
It has. Next time we'll get the internet fixed.
Yes, definitely.
Still got a good show going. Take care, guys. Till next week.
Good luck
I
to
don't know
y'all.
what happened.
Hey, you too, brother. All right, I'm off to work, man. Hey, Larry.